Terry here again. It's the week before Christmas, and I've been thinking about Christmas and remembering the birth of Jesus. And I've been thinking about what that means in my life at this stage of my life. And I remember that decades ago, it was primarily about the gift of Jesus, the one who would save us from our sins, and what that meant in our lives. But I realize now that my sense of celebrating the birth of Jesus has expanded. You see, I've committed myself to following Christ in the way of Jesus. So celebrating Jesus' birth is celebrating the gift of my primary model of what it means to know who God is and to recognize what a life full of God looks like, is like. So I look at the birth of Jesus as certainly a gift, because it gives me a model. Jesus gives me a sense of what it means to follow this Christ for my life, for my commitment. But I also recognize it's the gift of Jesus who I've committed myself that he is my mentor. He is my mentor in what it means to follow the universal Christ. And that's a wonderful gift. It's an amazing, but also when I think about the other mentors in my life, Jesus is my primary example, but I've had other examples of people in my life that have mentored me toward effective or honest or integritous Christ following, also as professionals. And I recognize that when I committed myself to following their example, it was a wonderful gift to know the way, but it was also a little bit, I don't want to say scary, but it was also a big commitment in saying that I am celebrating the birth of Jesus as my mentor, which means I will be confronted, I will be corrected by this Jesus, and as I follow Christ using Jesus as my primary example, that means a lot of changes in my life, or knowing fully and following more intentionally. So for me, it's a wonderful celebration this year of, in my perspective, God's gift to me of this amazing person that I can follow, this amazing example, this amazing embodiment of who God is and what a life full of God looks like. And it's also a time to recommit and saying, I have made this confession that I will be a Christ follower in the way of Jesus, and that I will do so intentionally. So for me, Christmas is a great time to celebrate, hang out with family, eat too much, all those things, but also a good time to sit and ponder and think, okay, for this next year, what will it mean in my life to say that Jesus is my primary example? Not just to look at, not just to say just to worship, but not to only worship, but to also follow, to, as the New Testament says, follow me as I follow the Christ. So I'm thinking that Christmas is a little bit complex this year, but also very renewing. There are things as I think about following Christ, I recognize I need to let go of in order to follow more effectively, to release so that I can embody more fully myself. So a Merry Christmas, a confronting Christmas, a renewing Christmas, a recommitting Christmas, recognizing that for me, this birth thousands of years ago has changed my life. It has given me someone that I can anchor my life to, a mentor, someone that I can trust. So I hope also that Christmas will be renewing for you as well. So celebrate and also spend some time pondering what that means in your life. Talk to you next time.